Hey everybody, this is Mike with Just Another GI Show, episode number 21. And as usual, I am with my fearless buddy and the guy who comes every other week for some odd reason, Fred.
Hey guys, it's Fred from JBL here. I'll do the pointless intro that Mike always makes me do, and that is you can find me at joebattlelines.com on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google+, and that's it for now.
No Vine?
No, I don't do Vine. I don't do Vine. I was briefly on Snapchat for like 5 minutes, and then I realized I'm over 40, and I have no business being on Snapchat. So,
yeah, might be a good idea on that one. But everyone, we are here to talk about Figure Subscription Service 7.0. The Collectors Club dropped the whole list of what we will be getting in FSS 7.0. But we've only seen 2 reveals. We're actually going to, I think we're going to go through the list of what we're getting. Then we'll give a prediction on what number 13 might be. And then we will go over the 2 images that we've seen so far. And then we'll talk about the take it in rock and roll from the club in their magazine that came out. I actually posted the picture on His Tank forums and on one of the Facebook groups. And the picture was sent to me by my good friend Rick. Y'all know him as Shattered Glass Jazz. He's popped on here a few times. He gets that magazine so fast. I mean, like, and he lives on the East Coast. And he gets it like 2-3 days before I get it, and I'm in Arkansas.
How does he? I think Rick's like part of the club mafia or something. Like we don't know about it, and
he's got like mafia money.
Like Rick's wearing like the black and white, the black striped suit, and he's talking to Savage. He's like, "Well, you know, bro, I'm gonna make him off for you. Come on." Wow, that was like the worst. I apologize to everyone for that, Brando. That was terrible. Terrible.
A little bad. But we were supposed to have John with us from
Broken Arrow.
Broken Arrow. I thought it was Chicken Fried Toys.
Well, it's Chicken Fried Toys. He did Broken Arrow. It was his original. But yeah, Chicken Fried because he does the Legends of the West. Time Novel Legends Kickstarter that is looking more and more gorgeous. So if John ever gets off his butt and decides to join us, if not, you're stuck with Mike and I.
Yeah, pretty much, and you know that could just be loads of fun. But okay, Fred, guess what we're fixing to do?
Oh, we're gonna do screen share. Oh, this is my favorite part. You're gonna get into the infinite tunnel of Mike's monitor, and it's kind of like for those of you that are old enough to remember this. Damn! I had my whole Buck Rogers monologue ready to go, and he took it away.
I got it all right. I'm getting better at this. All right. Okay. For y'all who've been in a black hole, haven't been paying attention, haven't been on His, haven't been on JBL or on the podcast page, we've got, the whole list of Figure Subscription Service 7.0. It started on October 31st, which was just 2-3 days ago, I guess. And we're going to go down the list here, and we'll tell you what we're getting, and then we're going to show the 2 images of what they've already showed us. And then, we'll kind of have a little fun with some stuff that we kind of have an idea or what, we've seen ideas of what might be happening and ideas we're hoping that will happen, but probably won't. Because as we know, it is the club. We love them, but I mean, it's a predictable club.
Sometimes their parts choices are a little baffling. Very
much. For example,
Tiger Force Outback.
Shut up, Savo.
Well, I was gonna say Tiger Force Outback too. They could have. There were better bodies. Come on, club.
I like my Tiger Force. All right. First one on the list was G.I. Joe Desert Trooper and Coyote, codename Dusty and Sandstorm.
Yep.
Inspired by
the 91 Deke version.
Which one?
This is based on the version that was featured in the Deke cartoon series. So, it's not exactly the most innovative. Well, it's not. I shouldn't say innovative. It's a pretty simple design. Dusty was rocking a muscle shirt and a pair of BDUs and a beret. Pretty low hanging fruit there. It was. Hey, look, this is a Deke lineup for the most part. They've already mined 82 to 86 as much as 87 as much as they can. So we're going into Deke, kids. That's what we're doing.
All right. Next up was Cobra Supreme Leader, codenamed Cobra Commander, inspired by the unreleased Arctic action figure. Comes with the helmet, holster with pistol, which was not in the picture. By the way, we'll get to that. Yeah. Advanced combat rifle, Cobra staff, and figure stand. I've always wanted the Arctic one that we never got, and
there's one.
And I figured the fandom would have been a little bit more understanding or wanting this figure, and there was a lot of what was it? The word I want to use? The force is a high with you but hurt people.
I look, and I'm kind of going to jump the gun here a little bit. I don't think it's that the reaction is necessarily toward this figure as much as it is, look, we know the club's done at the end of next year. So we've got FSS 7 and then maybe 8, if they can squeeze 8 out afterwards. Aside from those two, so 26 figures there, and whatever it comes in the last con set, and there's not a lot left.
No.
And I think people were like, "You're doing Cobra Commander in a winter coat before you're doing Back Blast and on all these others, and it's like I can kind of see where people were like, It'd be like if they threw Snake Eyes in. I think people would be like, Jesus, I'm sitting on a bucket of 75 Snake Eyes as it is.
Yeah, I've been pissed if we got our Snake Eyes.
So he's not a bad figure. Honestly, it's just a very specialized figure. So unless you're doing a snow diorama, it's Cobra Commander in a long white coat.
Kind of like the October Guard.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like Mindbender. They did Arctic Mindbender. It was cool, but Mindbender pretty much wore that. He stole the Baroness's coat, which is funny. It's the same coat she's wearing in a previous episode, and he wears it in like the Cobra Law scenes, and that's it. So it's like, okay, that's cool, but anyway, that's enough on Coco, which I know people hate that, so which is why I'm saying it.
Okay.
Oh, it's Frozen Coco.
Frozen Coco.
I'm gonna love running that into the ground.
There you go. G.I. Joe Commander, codenamed General Hawk, inspired by the 91 action figure. Removable helmet. Yeah, removable helmet, harness with holster, pistol rifle glider backpack with pop-out wings, detachable rockets ×2, and a figure stand. We have an idea. We're going to show a picture of what we think it's going to be.
Yeah.
Then we'll go from there.
The rockets kind of give me my opinion. But this is this is another Deke era figure. This is General Hawk when he looked more like a member of the X-Men than G.I. Joe, when he had that weird like face helmet crown thing, and it's different.
Mm-hmm. Dreadnok salvage crew, codenamed Dreadnok
Chaos. Yep. Chaos. We're just going with a funky spelling of Chaos.
Okay. Inspired by the unreleased concept case action figure, which is something we never got. Includes removable harness, pistol, balo, wrist crossbow, machete, and a figure stand. So and we actually had a picture of this one as well, from what we think or what we've seen. Was it the concept case picture? Is that what it was?
Yeah, he was. I think it was either oh boy, I didn't go to JoeCon from 2009 to 2013. Mm-hmm. So I think it was either 11 or 12. JoeCon 11 or 12 when they had that big concept case reveal. I think it might have been 12. And they had like some Renegade stuff. They had like all the zombie waves in there. And they had, all the weird elemental ninjas from the movie Five Elements Ninjas. And so Dreadnok Chaos Crew I think he was called Chaos Crew back then. It was he was shown as in part of that. And, it was supposed to be like a troop builder Dreadnok, so you can't see his face. He's got a hockey mask on, so maybe Jason Voorhees finally crawled out of Crystal Lake and decided, I'm going to join an Australian-themed biker gang.
All right. G.I. Joe assault vehicle driver, code name Treadmark, also known as Skidmark. Take it for what it is, people. You can call him Skidmark or Treadmark. Yeah. Inspired by the 88 action figure, includes removable vest, assault rifle, pistol, combat knife, and a figure stand. This one I can't remember the actual visual of what it original.
He's the desert fox driver. So he's the guy that's like wearing like light green pants, and then he looks like a deer hunter because he's wearing like the neon orange vest, neon orange helmet, and and the shades. And I'm thinking we're probably just going to get tripwires head reused, but because it doesn't say new head, so it's going to be pre-existing. It could also be Blocker from the Joe-Con set. They could reuse Blocker again. I don't know. But, the thing with Skidmark is the Desert Fox was a really cool vehicle. And Skidmark was actually a cool figure. If you look at his design, like there's some really awesome stuff. He just has an unfortunate code name, and he had one of the worst decos you've ever seen. So I'm glad to see him come back. I don't know if I would have chosen Treadmark, but
apparently they couldn't use Skidmark.
Well, I think it's because most Joe fans start laughing like 13-year-old boys. Skid marks, you've got skid marks. So
I would be the one to do that. All right. Oh, what is this? Intensive Enterprises CEO.
Good old Extensive Enterprises CEO, codename Tomax. Hey kids, remember Shattered Glass Zaymot? It's him with a new head.
Yeah, I guess what they're going to do, just part the hair the other direction. Is that it? Yeah.
What I would hope because basically it says that this is inspired by the Sunbow design. They're not wrong. That figure, that Shattered Glass, was pretty much Sunbow. And if I ever publish my damn review for it, because I'm like 11 million years behind on it, I even have some screen caps in there. It's in the cartoon, Zaymot and Tomax were in those double-breasted blue jackets.
Yep.
With the tan pants, almost as much as they were in their little circus acrobat uniforms with the sash. And this is kind of a natural. It's weird when I look at the description. Okay, they're including the skyhook, which was part of the original. I get it. That's cool. I kind of wish they're doing the briefcase with the warheads. So they're basically doing the nano briefcase, I think, again, from Rise of Cobra. I wish they would have just done the same money case one more time, because you can never have enough little 1/18 piles of euros and dollars.
Yep.
And honestly, really what I wish they would do, and we know this won't happen, is I wish the club would actually give this figure 2 heads and have one be on another Zaymot that isn't like the size of MODOK from Marvel Comics, because that last head was freaking ginormous. And I have a feeling the head on this one is going to be freaking ginormous, just so that he matches his brother.
Yeah.
If they're different sizes, then that's a huge fail.
Oh, absolutely.
People are going to lose their crap over this.
They're already losing their crap.
Oh, well, it's Joe fans. That's what we do.
Exactly. Well, here is probably one. Matter of fact, this would be the best one of the whole set coming up next. G.I. Joe Tiger Force Ninja, code name Jinx, which we've been harping and thinking we were going to get this the last 2.
Oh, hell yeah.
Subscription service figures as number 13, because we both knew they were female characters.
Yeah.
But now we're finally getting this one. Will feature a new head sculpt, includes a masked, unmasked heads. So I'm assuming we're getting 2 heads.
Well, we're gonna get probably the San Diego Comic-Con / Retaliation Jinx again, and they're gonna have just included unmasked head with it, because that'll get you your 2 heads.
Right. And then 2 swords, dual swords, stealth backpack, and
Naginata? Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a pole arm. The funny thing about this is kind of a gimme, because the club's been basically using her in their comics for a while, and that's usually, they kind of telegraph in there. Mm-hmm. But as Mike is so fond of Tiger Force, Jinx, this came out in the 2003 Toys R Us box set back when they repainted Jinx a couple of times as part of the, back when, you know, Toys R Us was getting 6-packs like a couple a year of Joes. The funny thing about this Jinx is, and I know Mike's going to hate to hear this, she's entirely green with some yellow stripes. Now, there's another fictional character that is entirely green with yellow stripes. And if you're fans of Masters of the Universe, you just got Cringer. He-Man's little cat is the same color and paint scheme as Tiger Force Jinx. So, you're getting cringered. I don't know why that amuses me. It just does.
It does. Cobra Arctic Transport Officer, codename Ice Viper Officer, inspired by the 07 action figure, includes removable helmet, goggles, harness, radio rifle, boot cleats, and figure stand. This, I think I know which one this was. This is part of the 25th line, wasn't it?
No, this one, if this is what I think this is. So 2007, we're right at the beginning of the 25th anniversary line. And the club does this this series of 4 boxes. Okay, there were 4 boxes of two figures called Operation Flaming Moth. So they wrote this whole story, which they didn't include on the boxes. You had to go to their website. And there's basically this moth satellite. And the moth satellite blows up and it falls in 4 different parts of the earth. So there was like a desert one, there was a jungle one, there was an Arctic one, and I don't remember the last one. And there were these 4 sets, and each one included, I think the only Joe set was like Cutter and Shipwreck and Chuckles. And then all the others, they were like Cobra Troopers. So there was like a Jungle Knight Viper. And anyway, they took the old Cobra Wolf, the Cobra Wolf driver, and they painted his head blue. Instead of the red mask, he had the blue mask, and that's the Ice Viper. So I'm pretty certain that this is the same figure. That's the same deco we're getting, because that's the only Ice Viper that came out in 07 that I could find. As soon as I was on Yojo, which we love Yojo, by the way. And when you go on and when you look up 07 and you look up Ice Vipers, it's the only thing is Moth, which, okay, the club would do a nod back to one of their previous figures. And was it 2015, we got that Battle Below Zero set at Toys R Us, which included the Ice Viper. So they just tweak some colors, they slap him out again, and yay, we get an Ice Viper officer to boss around the one Ice Viper we all have. Kind of like when I was a kid and I had a Cobra Trooper and a Cobra Officer. And that Cobra Trooper was pretty much, I'm going to say it, kids, he was the bitch of my Cobra faction because pretty much everybody like outranked him. And I did an army build as a kid, so I had like 1 of each. And that poor Cobra Trooper was like, I hate my life because the officer told him what to do. Everybody tells him what to do.
Exactly. Let's see. G.I. Joe Samurai Warrior, codename Budo.
Yes. Love Budo.
Inspired by the 88 action figure. Features new head sculpt. Includes samurai helmet, removable chest armor, belt, swords ×2, and a figure stand. This one here, does this actually work with the, I was thinking, does this go with the Ninja Force? He didn't go with the Ninja Force.
No. Well, Budo came out before Ninja Force. Most people are going to know Budo now from the Retaliation release one, where he was like full on 100% traditional samurai. And he looked like Ken Watanabe. He had antlers on his helmet. And as nice as that sculpt is, this is a very unpopular opinion I have. As nice as that figure was, and all the fans loved him, I freaking hated that as Budo, because it looked nothing like his vintage. There was a canceled couple of figures back when Gary Goggles was still alive. He had shared pictures of him with me and posted them online. There was a Budo that was supposed to be coming out, and it didn't. For whatever reason, it got canceled. And a lot of the parts that were developed for that Budo, if you remember the Retaliation Storm, the Resolute Storm Shadow that was in the comic pack, where he had like the chest armor and the helmet and all that stuff.
Right.
All those parts were originally conceived of for Budo. And they got used with Temple Guardian, Snake Eyes, and then that particular Storm Shadow. I'm betting those are the parts we're going to see for Budo. I'm going to go on record right now because the club did not say, if I remember, I'm going to go check his description really quickly. And Mike's just wanting me to shut up so we can move on.
No, you're fine.
New head sculpt, but we're not getting a new helmet. So it's going to be existing. Club, if you're listening, do not use that retaliation head, that stupid antler head. That was, he's not a deer. Well, and I'm sorry. Okay, you got to get Fred's soapbox here. Samurai were mounted archers. That's what they were. Everybody's like, oh, samurai with their katana. No, they were mounted archers. The sword was, the katana was used to basically slice people from horseback. So stop with the swords. Just give him a bow and be done with it. Instead, we're getting the same size that every martial arts figure comes with because everybody wants to be Raphael. It's okay. Cowabunga, dude.
Here's one I'm really looking forward to. Cobra Savage Fighter, codename Kangor. Inspired by the Bazillion exclusive action figure, includes removable harness, boxing gloves, hands, dumbbell weights, ×2, a kangaroo, and a figure stand. This basically, and y'all know that I'm not up to date on everything G.I. Joe as far as all the, off-ball figures out in the different countries. But this is pretty much going to be a repaint of Big Boa.
Yep. Big Boa. In fact, his card art is Big Boa, like where he's like almost punching a kangaroo. And
exactly. And the best part of this is that it comes with a goddamn kangaroo.
Well, and that's what kills me. It's like the club is going to spend money to tool a kangaroo.
No, they've hadn't gotten a kangaroo. Or did it come with a kangaroo originally?
Yep, it did. It came with boxing gloves and a kangaroo. So unless they're doing what they did with their Super Joe figure, where that little creature thing that was supposed to be Darkon, was it not Darkon? Gore. What was supposed to be Gore. Or Terron. Sorry, God, I'm sucking at this tonight. Was supposed to be Terron was like a PVC character from another toy line.
Exactly.
They just like bought a bunch of them. In fact, I bet if you look on it, it says copyright by another company.
Hey, you hold on 1 second. Let me go grab it.
Because I never got that. I wanted that just for that freaking sand dragon. But yeah, so we're getting Kangor. So basically the club is totally getting mileage. And I don't blame them, but they're getting the mileage out of the head they did for Boa. And you know what? As much as I could be like, kind of more power to them at this point. I mean, they got to do something, and we're starting to run out of parts combos where not everybody looks the same. So,
okay, it says 2016 selfie CF. God, my eyes. Hold on, I hate to say this, people.
I'll tell you that much.
Let me tell you, I hate to say this. Flip my bifocals on real quick.
Is it Schleich? Is it SCHLEICH?
Well, that made such a difference in changing my glasses. It is SAFARI.
Oh, it's Safari Limited. Okay. Yep. Yeah, so they basically bought these from somebody else and shoved them in a bag.
Yep, Desert Dragon.
So if you basically our kangaroo is probably going to also be Safari Limited. I'm willing to bet vital parts of Mike's anatomy, because I'm not going to bet my own.
Oh, gee, thanks.
That this is going to be another Safari Limited kangaroo. And you know what? I'm okay with that because it's a freaking kangaroo.
It makes such a big difference that because people who don't want to spend $150 plus on a big boa can really just kind of, if you're willing to just settle, that's what you can settle for, is that.
I mean, his paint job is almost exactly the same. It's just the difference is where Boa's mask was mostly like whitish. This one's mask is mostly blackish. And then his suspenders are darker, a little darker red. And then it's the pants, and I think the boots are black this time. I mean, he's basically Boa for, like Mike said, for people who couldn't get Boa before, or for who didn't do the first sub because they're kind of like, is this thing going to work? So
here we are 6 subs later.
Yeah, I mean, There are worse figures they could put in.
Right.
We could get another Surefire. So
I'm actually, like I said, this one I am really looking forward to. But we'll go through these again in a minute. We'll do a yay or nay when we finish. I meant to do this while we're doing it. G.I. Joe, Tundra Ranger, Sergeant Stalker, inspired by the '89 action figure, removable tactical vest, new hat, rifle, knife, kayak with stabilizer.
Yep.
Machine gun mount, double-ended paddle, and figure stand. I seen the original one, and I'll be honest, I was not too. I mean, we've got how many Stalkers? Didn't we just get a Stalker not too long ago? In the Z-Force Stalker.
Well, that was Jammer. No, Mike.
That was Jammer.
Mike, you should remember the last Stalker we got. He's part of Kitty Patrol.
Well, I knew that I was getting the Kitty Patrol. It's the same head sculpt. That's what it is.
He's part of Paw Patrol, man. It's okay. I mean, Tiger Force. It's all right.
Hey, Stalker was in Tiger Force, but what I was thinking was Jammer. Jammer's head and Stalker's head's the exact same head.
It's probably going to be that.
Oh yeah.
This figure, if you remember the original, he was almost entirely in camo. He just had a white jacket on over the top of it. So they could do, and I've seen some really good customs of this where they've done like some nice like camo builds, and then they just do like the overlay piece, is white. The big thing is going to be the kayak, because the last kayak I can think that we got was in the Vacation in the Shadows convention set. They used it for Natalie Poole and that other Action Force person. So that's probably going to be what it is. But this is another Deke era. This Stalker made his debut in animation form in Operation Dragonfire.
Yep.
So to the worst line ever, when Stalker just shows up and he throws his kayak in the water. I don't remember which one of the Joes it was, but he just goes, "That guy's awesome." And it just goes to show how crappy the writing in Deke was. Yeah. But, hey, it's the club's reusing ahead once more. And we're getting a bunch of stuff. So, yeah, that'll be cool.
Last one of the 12, Cobra I can't say that word. What's the word?
Hypnotist!
Thank you.
Crystal Ball!
Inspired by the '87 action figure featuring a new head sculpt. Woo! Vest, pistol, knife, shield, and figure stand. This one here was everyone was very excited when this one was announced earlier this year when at JoeCon, they gave us 2 figures they told us we were getting, and it was this one and the
Tomax.
Tomax. So, yeah.
Hell, I was going to sign up for this FSS.
Just for this one.
Just for this one. Because, look, man, Crystal Ball is... I owe so much of my love of Crystal Ball to Brian Kaufman, who goes by Nova in the Joe fandom. And I doubt Nova will see this because, we have like 5 viewers and one of them's my mom. But
thanks, Mom.
Brian hi, Mrs. Meyer. Nova is such a passionate Crystal Ball fan. Like he does Crystal Ball customs. He has done his diorama the one year at JoeCon was this huge battle setup that was like 100 Crystal Ball figures in various customs. There was blue balls was there and silver balls. And he had one that was he had carded a Crystal Ball, but had him busted. His legs were sticking out the bottom of the card. So he was like walking in his card. And like, I freaking love Crystal Ball because of how batshit crazy he is. And also because James Kavanaugh, who's been on the show, his first cosplay ever to JoeCon in 2005 was Crystal Ball.
Here's hoping that maybe he'll do it again.
Oh, you know what? I think the vest is, okay, looking at the build for this, I think your vest is going to be the same one that they did with Naugahyde from the Dreadnok set. And I don't know what we're going to do for the shield. I don't care. It better be lenticular because his lenticular thing was awesome. And the fact that we're getting Crystal freaking Ball. His file card was written by Stephen King, everyone. True story. And that's the very reason that Sneak Peek is named Owen King, because that is Stephen King's son. But yeah, Crystal freaking Ball. Like, This is the reason to sign up, in my opinion. So I was down. I'm the club had me no matter what.
Okay, so Fred, so you're definitely down for Crystal Ball.
Crystal Ball is the Raptor of this FSS. I signed up last year just for damn Raptor. I'm signing up this year for Crystal Ball.
Sergeant Stalker, yay or nay?
I'm gonna go ahead and say yes because I'm a sucker for Stalker. Always like the character. Not this version as much, but it's Stalker.
I'm a nay on that one.
Oh, hold on. Let me keep track. Hold on.
I'm right. I'm right down.
Oh, okay.
Kangor.
Normally, I don't give two craps about international repaints, but I liked the FSS version enough, even though he's going to look virtually identical. Yeah, I'm in because it's a guy who's going to beat up on a kangaroo. Yeah,
that's the pose I'm putting in, is him punching the crap out of kangaroo.
Well, I'm going to have the kangaroo kicking the crap out of him with Boa in the background going,
Okay, so I'm definitely on that one. Bluto.
Okay, club, do not screw up Budo. That's all I'm saying. Back in the Devil's Due days, Devil's Due made Budo freaking awesome. So yes, I'm down for Budo as long as you don't screw him up. Make him the canceled version. Life is good. All is forgiven. I'll come over and wash your car.
I'm going to go no because I'm thinking we're going to get the antler head.
God damn it! Don't jinx this for me.
But if we don't get the antler head, I'll say yes. But I gotta wait to see it first.
Oh, club! You don't do this, club. Don't do this.
Ice Viper officer. I'm all okay with the officers and being an Ice Viper going off the Cobra Commander. I'm going to go yes on this one. Yeah.
I could give a crap. He'll probably just ride in the back seat of my Wolf.
So we're going to go no with him for you then.
Yeah, I guess say no. I don't. He's like a soft no. I don't hate him. I just don't care. Does that make sense? Like he just doesn't.
I'm going to put a maybe on you on that one.
Yeah, he just doesn't make me excited.
Right. Well, this one's a no-brainer for me. I'm just going to say yes for the next one. Y'all should know me better by now.
Mike loves his Battle Cat. I mean, Tiger Force.
I love my Tiger Force.
Yeah, I gotta say, I liked the Toys R Us Tiger Force set from back in the day. So I kind of thought that we'd get this for a while. If they give us a short-haired Jinx sculpt where she looks like she did in the cartoon, yeah, I'm down for this.
Tomax, I'm down because, in my opinion, even though it is a Sunbow, I see it more as Shattered Glass because I'm a huge Shattered Glass nut with the Transformer line.
Whoa. What do you mean, even though it's Sunbow?
Even though it's Sunbow, it's really... You know what? You can put your figures on the shelf and call them what you want to, and I'll put my figures on the shelf and I will call them I want to. They are Shattered Glass. I'm going to put them with my Transformers.
I just want to make certain you're not crapping on Sunbow because I love that cartoon.
No.
Okay, we good then.
Oh, no. Well, now I'll crap on Windmill because Windmill is crap.
You mean, I want to call him Ceiling Fan. Like he just walks around. He's got a damn ceiling fan. Yeah, put me down for this one because it's Sunbow inspired. Mm-hmm. I can't hate it.
Right. Dreadnoks. Skidmark. I don't know. I don't know whether. I mean, he's just a vehicle driver. No new head.
Yeah.
Nothing new. Probably all reused stuff. I might keep it for the fact that, Skidmark. So I want to say no, really, on him.
See, I like. It's funny. A lot of my like for this character comes from the vehicle that he came with. I loved the Desert Fox. I don't know why. I didn't get one until I was an adult. I was out of Joe at that point. You know, it's called this thing called High School and Girls in '88. But no, depending on how they build them, and I they're probably just going to use the tripwire head. But if you remember that there was a fictional anthology called what Tales from the Cobra Wars or something that IDW published a number of years ago. One of the stories in there was a Skidmark solo story, and it was like their version of like Bullet with Steve McQueen. It was just amazing. So I'm down for this just because of other things that make me like the character. And I'm still going to call him Skidmark because it's what he is.
All right, our next one is Dreadnok's Chaos. I'm going to keep it because it looks like Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, I got to say that the weird thing about this is I have I could give two wet craps about him. Except for I think he looks more like Skullbuster than the Skullbuster the club released.
Now that is true because that Skullbuster we got from the club was a little
gorilla armed. So I'll probably get him though. I'll probably keep him just because. Well, first of all, I keep everything. Who am I kidding? But
if you weren't going to keep it, would you sell it or keep it?
I'll probably keep him, and I'll tell you why. He's a new character, and even if I don't care the fact that he's supposed to be a troop builder, fine. I'll just make him some weird-ass horror movie fan that joined the Dreadnoks and refuses to take the mask off and always speaks in a creepy voice. You know, I don't know.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, kind of.
All right, General Hawk, I am okay with this if the picture you showed me earlier is what it is.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. And that picture is strictly our idea of what we think or what Fred thought it was going to be or whatever, or wherever you read that at. Did you read that somewhere?
That's just my own based
opinion?
On the description and me kind of going, well, what else could it be?
Right. And if it's that, then I can go with that. But I mean,
the minute you say pop out wings and removable missiles, that kind of limits it because most of the pop out wing gliders didn't have missile mounts except for that one.
Right. So I mean, yeah, I would yay on that one.
I'm iffy. To me, General Hawk, man, that leather jacket, you know, was it 85, 86 version, like that's Hawk. So I'm not a huge fan of the Deke era Hawk. I think they treated him they used him like crap in the cartoon. He never wore this outfit in the comics to the best of my knowledge. So I'll keep it if it looks good. But I'm not, as of now, I'm it'll depend on what the preview is. If the club has a really unique opportunity here, if they do this one right, they can take a design that maybe some of people like me who are fans of the earlier spectrum of a real American hero, they could win us over with it. If they go full on Deke, then I'm not going to give two craps. Yeah.
Okay, next up, Arctic Cobra Commander. This here is just a plain yes, period, for me. I'm sorry, it just is. I've always wanted. I've always been a sucker for Arctic, Cobras, and it's always been, Destro, Cobra Commander, Arctic, and then it's always been Tiger Force. Sorry, but I
that is like the weirdest thing. You've got like the cold weather people, and then a bunch of people that look like a Glidden paint store exploded on them. Like they just don't go together. Hey man, I can't judge.
I mean, everyone has their twerks, man. Yeah, everyone's got their twerks. I mean, hell, I wasn't even a big fan of Battle Force 2000 really until this last con, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, honestly, I have one shelf in my case. Not one shelf, but one of the shelves that have my favorite figures on it, and it's one side Tiger Force, other side Battle Force 2000.
The club did a pretty damn good job with BF2K. Again, another thing I haven't reviewed. There's a surprise, but that was just that set was okay. Let's take the 37,000 bats out of it.
Yeah,
that set was way more fun than it had any business being. But as far as this figure goes, maybe. Look, I like Arctic Mindbender for all the wrong reasons. I like the fact that he's so damn good. He is literally from the animation model wearing a coat the Baroness wore. So, you know, like when I did my review at JBL, I shoved that microphone from Sergeant Slaughter in his hand, had him singing like he's in a Perry Como Christmas special. So, you know, this is going to be like Mindbender's song and dance partner, Coco. You know, I put me as a maybe. I'm just sort of.
Yeah, I get you on 3 maybes.
I don't hate him. I don't love him. So, yeah, that's fair.
And then the last one, Dusty, he is actually a no for me. I just, after we look at the picture, you'll probably see why. There's not really a lot of love for him out of the Joe community right now.
Yeah. He's an easy one to build, but I was kind of surprised on JBL's Facebook page, Ron Rudat, you know, Ron frickin' Rudat, who Dusty borrows his name backwards. And Ron was a designer on the line for so long. He was like pretty much the guy. Even Ron was like, man, well, where's this camo? You know, because the club's release doesn't have the camo that was on the pants.
Right.
And we'll get ahead of ourselves, but I'll keep him. He's not a maybe. I'll put him as a very weak yes.
Okay.
Just because I love the other Dusty so much. The original Dusty is always Dusty to me.
Now I gotta find one of different pictures.
Oh, you're on your own there, dude. I don't know where you put him. Oh, look, he's got Mr. Potato Head.
Mr. Potato Head.
Yes.
I'm still in Fort Worth. Can't type.
Mr. Potato Head. This is a preview of FSS 8 in which we're getting Tato Commander. And, you know, I can't even make stuff.
There's John right there.
John's still in Fort Worth.
Yeah, he's still in Fort Worth.
You slacker. John, you're losing your billing in tonight's episode. And
for y'all who actually, I gotta say, we've gotten actually quite a few likes, and y'all can see our new picture that my good friend Jesse Riddenrich did for us for Inktober. I just happened to, you know, say, hey, you know, I would really love for you to do a picture of me like Tiger Force, and that's what I got. And then he asked me if Fred would want Tiger Force, and so, you know, go ahead and do Fred as Tiger Force just to piss him off. But he really likes Battle Force 2000, so he went with Battle Force 2000, obviously. And then he sent a picture of it together with the logo in it for me, and so we're going to run with this for a while as our new logo, which I think
dig it, man.
It's really a good thing. And so thank you again, Jesse, for doing this for us. We really appreciate it.
Jesse, you could have made me Tiger Force Outback and I'd have been okay with it, but you made me Battle Force 2000 and I freaking love it. And in some ways, you know what it reminds me of? It's like he did Battle Force, but he kind of did a little Mega Marines Mirage with the goggles and that. And I love me some Mega Marines. I don't know why. I don't like the colors, but I love the design, the uniform design. So you throw that in, I'm okay with it.
Right. Like I was saying, that is the new pictures for our Facebook page. And like I said, we've gotten quite a few likes over the last week, and I really appreciate everyone coming on there. We're like was it 300 and something?
I think so. For a show of two guys that neither of us are ever going to win a sex symbol contest.
Hey, you speak for yourself, damn it. I'm sexy as hell.
I tell you what, everyone, if we make 350 likes, Mike will wear a t-shirt that says sex symbol. You heard it.
Ain't that far away.
I know. That's why I said it.
All right, everybody. Here is what the club released on the left versus what was originally given to us when we said it was it 80, 88? 80, was it
80? No, that's 91.
Was it okay? Early now. Okay,
91. As you can see, I mean, Dusty's and these pictures you can see from the watermark. We did take the pictures from Yojo for this one. That's because Yojo's like the definitive source in my mind. So again, a big shout out to Yojo.
Yep, thank you, Yojo.
The original was pretty bland. I mean, he was pretty much one color for his uniform. They slapped some camo paint on his pants. He had bare sleeves. He had a beret. That's it. What did the club do? The club kind of did the same thing. Except for they cut the cost when it came to the paint jobs on the pants. You notice there is 0 camo on this figure anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the Jungle Duke, the Pursuit of Cobra Jungle Duke harness again. Mr. Acer over on JBL actually posted what the parts breakdown in the comments on my post there. So I'm just going to read off what he's got down because he nailed it. I am not a parts guy. It takes me a while to figure out the parts on some of these. And so we're dealing with the Slaughters Marauders Falcon head and beret because the club's got limited beret options. That is the Pursuit of Cobra Shock Trooper torso. Which, man, we're using the hell out of the Shock Trooper these days.
Yeah, we are.
Pursuit of Cobra Jungle Duke arms, web gear, and machete. Then there's those Pursuit of Cobra Snake Eyes legs and gear that we've seen like 10,000 times.
That's something John pointed out to me. He was so sick and tired of these legs.
And they're not even the same length. One of them is slightly longer than the other, and they've never fixed it. You got a Pursuit of Cobra Beachhead rifle. Which is, again, I can't remember the model of that, but that's a solid rifle. And then this is the part that kind of ticks me off with this figure, and it maybe pushes me back to a maybe with it. Okay, so Dusty came with a coyote for an accessory. That is the Paris Pursuit Snake Eyes Timber, repainted as a coyote. Now, Timber was a wolf. A wolf is, I mean, some people are going to go, wolf, coyote, man, they're all the same. They're just dogs. But the problem is a wolf is so much larger. If you've ever seen a coyote and a wolf together do not look the same. Wolf is bigger, it's stockier, head's thicker on it. Coyote is kind of scraggly. We have them all over around where I live. Mike, you probably do down in Arkansas.
We have more deer than anything else down here.
Yeah, what now?
We got more deer than anything else down here.
Yeah, we have coyotes. You can hear them sometimes where we live at the edge of town howling at night. And they're it kind of bugs me that they went with this. It's like, especially because if they're using the Safari Limited to get the Desert Dragon for Dark and Gore, and if they're using it for what we think for the Kangor for his kangaroo, we couldn't just get an actual coyote. I mean, I know it's a nitpick. It's like, look, man, people are going to tell me, shut the hell up, go out to Hobby Lobby, buy your own damn coyote, and quit bitching about it. But I'm paying good money,
exactly,
and they skimped on the paint. The club could still fix it, but he needs camo on the legs to make him better. And, the other pet peeve I do have with this is the third head that Dusty has now had in the modern era of construction. Dusty's original head in the 25th was the same as the Pit Trooper that was in Rise of Cobra. Dusty's second head had that comb over part that was in the Pursuit of Cobra line, which was also used in the Toys R Us Blueberry, the pack that they did. And so I was kind of settling into that for Dusty, and now they're using Falcon's head for Dusty. And damn it, stop he's not a Time Lord where he's regenerating and changing his appearance every time he shows up. This is not Dusty Who. I really wish they would just stick with a head. And I know people are going to say, well, the other heads don't fit the beret. Well, then if you can't do it right, don't do it.
That is why I said no on this, is because of the head sculpt use.
Change me to a no, will you? The more I think about it, I'm getting ticked off.
Where'd my kid go?
I feel like, I don't know, like the other, and if you look at it, the head doesn't sit super well on there. It's not. The club has a habit, and this is a good habit, of when they're doing an FSS and their previews, you lead off with the weakest version. You do. I get it. In theory, you would lead off with one of the good ones, slump in the middle, and then hit it out of the park at the end.
Didn't they lead off with Windmill?
No, Windmill was shoved in the middle, though.
Oh, okay. Because
they ended with Raptor, and it was like, oh, hell yeah, now this is what we're talking about.
Right. Yeah, this one here, this is why the guns I agree with. The vest is a little much, but I can live with that. The legs killed it for me because look, he's got knee pads where he didn't have knee pads on the original.
I'm just sick of those damn legs.
The berets backwards, and they could have used a different head and used a loose beret as they did in JoeCon 2014.
You know what's funny is that when Ron Rudat, who may have actually designed this figure, I don't know 100%. My apologies, Ron. But Ron even pointed out, why is the beret backwards?
Yeah, beret's backwards.
And it's just, I don't know. I get it. This just feels more like I have some friends who are killer customizers. Like these guys can look at parts and they can create, they could create the most amazing things out of like basic parts. And you would never suspect. You'd have to stop and look and it's like, whoa, that was really, this just looks to me like, man, somebody's been customizing. And they've scrapped all these figures. They've done all these great ones. They look down at their bench, and this is what's left at the end of the night. And they go, "Hey, I could slap this together and make Dusty." So,
yeah. All right. The next one was Cobra Commander. The concept one, or one we never got, is on the left. Collector Club on the right, and I have to. Yes. Looking at it, you're pretty much seeing exactly what we would have gotten.
The sleeves are the only difference. The
maybe that helmet, maybe.
I think
it has wider, it flares out a little bit more on the left than it does on the right.
The one
on the right is a mock-up now. Don't get me wrong.
Oh shit! No. You know what it is? The one on the left is the G.I. Joe Resolute Cobra Commander head, because his head had a little bit different cut to where it fit over the silver dome. His helmet did. The one on the right is the Ultimate Cobra Commander. It was the same head they used for the Missile HQ, and that came out in the Retaliation line.
Mm-hmm.
And the arms are also from that Retaliation Cobra Commander. That's the big difference. I gotta be honest, I don't like the switch in the arms because the Retaliation arms were pretty smooth looking. They were more form fitting. And if you're wearing a thick winter coat, you should have some padding on. And people are gonna tell me I'm nitpicking, whatever. But this is pretty much the mind bender they gave us a couple years ago. They just changed out the arms and the head. It just hit me.
Well,
except Mindbender. Well, no, I take it back. Mindbender didn't have the holster. This holster was used. The Club Blast used this with the Operation Bear Trap set. It was one of the Iron Grenadiers.
Yeah, it is. It's the Iron Grenadier. But looking at my Resolute 7-pack here, that helmet on the left is the one in this Resolute set.
Yeah, I like that helmet a lot. That helmet was really good.
And I guess the one on the right is a different one, or is it all the same one?
No, I'm willing to bet that's, now that you pointed it out, because I was going to originally say it was the same thing until you pointed it out. Now I look at it, that is the I'm willing to bet that's the Ultimate Cobra Commander head, the same one that was in the 50th anniversary series, and the same one that we got in the Comic-Con set that Bobby put together.
Oh, Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, that's the same head.
All right, guys, and then you can see on the figure stand, nothing major, but then the Cobra staff, as you can see, the one on the left was like a miniature one, and we're getting a big long one from. Which one's that from?
Oh, you would ask this. I've seen it. I know it. I maybe that's from Renegade's Cobra Commander. I know people are going to kill me for not knowing this because I'm like, it looks familiar first because it's got the curly Q. And that's what, it's not the Serpentor one. And it's not the comic pack one. So this, I think that's the Renegades Cobra Commander. I'd have to look on Yojo real quick.
It has to be Renegades, I think. It's not Resolute.
Yeah, I'm willing to, give me about 2 seconds.
That's fine.
Talk amongst yourselves, kids. I bet that's Renegade. No, it's either Renegade's Cobra Commander or it's the Cold Weather Cobra Commander from Pursuit of Cobra.
Oh, I bet it's Pursuit of
I
Cobra.
bet it's the Pursuit of Cobra one. Now that I think about it,
Hold on. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's Pursuit of Cobra. It's on my wall.
yeah, it's the
Looking
one
right
where
at
he
it.
was like the coat was open and he had
Yep.
like the cube looking thing.
Yeah,
It actually did also come with the Renegades one, but the Pursuit of Cobra had it first.
yeah, I'm looking right at it. And Renegades, Cobra Commander.
Yeah, the Renegades had it. That upper torso is actually from the same figure, and then they just put a different collar on it. But
Pursuit of Cobra.
yeah,
Okay, yeah, I'm looking right at it. Yeah, you're right.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's not bad. It's just I'm not a big fan of single-use figures for the most part. And you know, this is a Cobra Commander you would never put in with your jungle figures, or because you know why the hell are you wearing white?
Don't wear white after Labor Day.
Oh, look, Coco, man, I don't know what you're doing. Oh, he could almost be Vanilla Coco.
Vanilla Coco. Now I gotta admit, even though it's a one-off, it's something we never got. It was something we were never going to get, and that's what the club is well known for: is giving us what Hasbro won't.
Well, then where's my Sergeant Savage figures in this scale? Damn it!
You still got FSS 8.0 to go.
Or Adventure Team. You started this club. You could finish this.
So that one there is a good one for me. So, oh, there's my arrows. Let's see. So that's, oh, I know what I wanted to go look at real quick.
Then Mike's going to go to the picture where Mike's starting crap.
No.
I know what he's doing.
Here's what it is: the Dreadnok's Chaos Crew. This was the concept case one, right?
Yep, that's him.
That's Jason Voorhees. That's what that is.
Yeah, I mean, he's got Thrasher's web gear. He's got that dollar store shipwreck torso.
Yep.
You know, he can tell he's a trooper for the most part because troopers always have the faces covered. But if you remember back in the end of Devil's Due, it was in the G.I. Joe America's Elite era. They did that story with Shipwreck and CoverGirl having to go track down Skullbuster like in Madagascar or somewhere. And he'd gone like completely off the grid, was living off the land, was kind of a little like creepy. Yeah, this could be a really cool update of Skullbuster, in my opinion. If you're like kind of like, I don't want Jason Voorhees as a Dreadnok, well, then you could have him as Skullbuster, and it would be pretty damn cool.
Now, if we get this similar head, it's going to be awesome. But if we get something crappy like that Skull Crusher head, no.
Well, and you know what? That's a new head, I think. But
is it a new head?
Well, the original was, but the concept case one was. But here's the thing: even if they went ahead and somehow just used the funky head and mask without the hair, but they'd still have to retool it from oh, what's his name? Shadow Tracker.
Mm-hmm.
It would still be cool. Yeah, it just says inspired by the unreleased concept case version. They don't call out new head. He'd almost have to be, though.
Yeah, but if there's no new head listed on there, then that means they're going to use something existing.
Oh God! Then you know what it's going to be. It's going to be a Rock Viper head or Range Viper. Range Viper. Sorry, my bad. It's going to be the Range Viper head. Damn it! Yeah. Well, if they do that, then he's a no. No, I'm sorry. I'm hard to please.
Yeah. All right, and shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, please bear with us as we screen share our way through Mike's email.
Yeah, I gotta go back to my box.
Open the older messages. Just go back to that thread. I sent you a bunch in there. One of these days, I'm just going to send Mike like a PowerPoint slideshow. We could, oh, that would work. You bring it up in PowerPoint and fill your whole screen. All right, scroll down.
Right here.
Yeah, that one that has no name.
Okay, yes. All right, this is what we were thinking, or Fred is thinking what Hawk is going to be.
So if you guys remember, back in the Rise, the after Rise of Cobra, the Pursuit of Cobra line came out, and there was a bunch of stuff shown, and then it got canceled. And this figure eventually showed up in in I think it was Pursuit of Cobra as Skydive, and he was recolored. But this version was Ripcord. And you can actually still find these on eBay every so often. It's got the Marlon Wayans head underneath. And he had that pop-up backpack that had, like, you know, the wings, and it had 2 bomb holsters on it. You can see one right there above his elbow.
Right here.
Well, the club's description, and I'm going to reread it here real quick. Let me bring her up. Said, glider backpack with pop-out wings, detachable rockets ×2. To the best of my knowledge, in the Joe line, of the modern Joe line, the only backpack with pop-out wings and a space for 2 removable missiles is this. And they may not include the rest of it, but if you're going to make Hawk look like a badass in flying gear, you've already got the helmet. You've got the cool web gear. They used some of this when they did Airborne in one of the Retaliation 3-packs. Just do this pretty much as Hawk, and I think a lot of people will be okay with it. It makes him look like a badass, because this was supposed to be an aerial accelerator suit, and you all know how much fans love accelerator suits, kids.
And that one was also used for JoeCon 15,
Skydive
16.
Yeah, they used the backpack with some of the
Air
figures.
Raid. It was Air Raid.
Air Raid, yes. And then the backpack was used for, like, Black Dragon, or was it Black Dragon? I don't know.
No, Black Scorpion.
Flying Scorpion or
Flying Scorpion.
Black Vulture.
It was actually, I think it was both of them. Maybe.
Yeah.
And because I love the damn it, Black Dragon or whatever, it had a cesspool recolored head on. That's why I really liked it.
See, here's the problem with these international figures. Is for years I knew them as like what their Brazilian names were, and then the club comes along and names them the American name, you know, the English equivalent. I can't tell you who the hell they are without having to go back and look at my stamp. Oh yeah, you're a Scorpio Validar. No, you're Flying Scorpion. Okay.
Okay, so this is what we thought the next 2 probably will look like. And the club showed this past week, Tuesday and Thursday.
Yes.
So that means that we should get a reveal Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
And if you think about it, so they've got 12 figures to reveal between now and the beginning of December. They have 4 more full weeks to fill previews. Now, one of those weeks is Thanksgiving week, which, let's be honest, that's you're not going to do a lot Thanksgiving week because people travel, your audience is going to be down, your internet traffic is new. But I'm betting we'll probably, with 10 more figures to show, they're either going to do 2 or 3 a week now from this point forward. They could just do 2 a week and then do 3 the last, and I think we'll be all right. But
well, if they go like they've had before in the past, by our next show, we should have 5 more reveals.
Yeah.
Is the way I see it.
Yeah.
And the way the list is how they're going in order. They're not going pick and choose. It's like we know how they're going in order because that's what they've done so far. They did Dusty, then they did Cobra Commander, so it'll be General Hawk and Chaos next.
Now, see, they don't always go in order, too. So, but I don't know. As long as they just don't, like, as long as the next couple aren't like Ice Viper Officer and that, you know, if they mix in a good and a lesser known, we'll be okay. The only one we don't really need to preview is Tomax because we pretty much know what he's going to look like.
Unless they change it up. But here's our next picture we're going to talk about.
This is where Mike started a shitstorm on the internet, kids.
I did. Let me tell you what I did. As everyone knows, Rick, Shatterglass Jazz, he messaged me and he says, "Hey, dude, did you get your club magazine in yet?" He says, they got a picture of rock and roll. Of course, now let me tell you kids something. Rick lives over in the East Coast, way in the East Coast, like near the ocean, East Coast. And I live in Arkansas. I'm literally like 4.5 hours away from the Collectors Club. He gets his magazine before I get my magazine. I don't get it. I never have. But anyways, He sends me this picture. I don't know if is this the same picture I used right here, or this is something different. This is the picture I used, wasn't it?
The one you used is the one in the middle. You're showing the composite where I put it together.
Rick sent me a picture, and he sent me the picture. I posted it on his tank forums. I posted it in one group on Facebook. I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the group right now, but it's just one group that now is over 100 and some odd posts of people losing their shit. His tank lost their shit, and they got another pot ready to fill. I mean, even here on our Just Another G.I. Joe Show Facebook page, as well as Joe Battleons, people are not happy by any means whatsoever with what the club has done. And I believe the picture that they posted in there is not a mock-up. I think it is the actual product.
It probably, at this point, it probably is. Here's the kicker with this, guys. And I've seen, okay, so looking at the image you have on your screen right now, let me back this up and give you a little perspective. On your left, 1989 Rock and Roll version 2. That's his deco. On the far right, G.I. Joe JoeCon 2013 concept case V2 reveal. And the reason I know is that picture that's floating around is actually my photo, because I shot it because I was in a panel, got called out by a buddy. I was going to watch the What's on Joe Mind panel. And my buddy Scott's like, get out of here! And that's when Hasbro, it was on a Saturday at 4 o'clock, they put this out. Right, like the last hour of the dealer's room. And so that's my pick there. And then in the middle is the club's mock-up. Now, the club's mock-up and the concept case one, to my aging eyes, are exactly the same build, which is funny because at JoeCon this year, if you watched Yojo or any of the people that did the Facebook Lives of that panel, the club said, yes, we're going to do it. Rock and Roll V2. It's not going to be based on the concept case version. Huh.
Oh, they did say that?
Yeah, they did. This is the concept case version, but with different colors. Now, there's actually another version of this figure floating around. If you remember, Yojo, about a couple months back, they got their hands on this figure. Was eventually going to be, he was reworked a little bit, the concept case version, and he was going to be released at Toys R Us in a vehicle pack. So it was going to be Rock and Roll, and I think it was like a Vamp, maybe. And so it was, they used the Retaliation Joe Trooper legs, the ones with those damn ankles that don't want to fold up very well, and so he's always falling over backwards. And some people are like, oh, I love those legs. Well, you can stop talking now because adults are speaking. Wow, I'm just condescending as shit today. Anyway, so what the club did is the club took basically the concept case version and they applied these colors. And people are looking at it and they're like, well, those colors are terrible. Those colors don't look like it. These colors, death of the line. And I was looking at it today, and I'd posted an article on JBL about this on the actual JBL page if you want to go look at it. And that's where this picture that we're using came from. And I couldn't figure out why, because the club's all about vintage accuracy. And if you look in the colors in this, like, man, the legs, it just doesn't jive. And I'm like, but I've seen these somewhere before. So if you go and if you're a comic book fan, go and look up, and I got to pull it up again. It's a Marvel Comics issue number 79. And in Marvel 79, it's like Clutch and Rock and Roll are up working with some Canadian. No, I'm sorry, 97. My bad, guys. Dyslexia, 97. Clutch and Rock and Roll are up working with the Mounties, and there's a Terrordrome. And Rock and Roll sporting his new look. He's got the twin Vulcan guns, which we're going to talk about more in a minute. And so I looked at that comic. Part of this seems to be taken from the cover of that issue. This is closer to his comic book colors than his figure colors. And that's why, like, the browns are super brown and the greens are super green. And it just doesn't look at all like what you've seen, of Rock and Roll, what you expect of him. The other thing that people are losing their mind on, and I couldn't tell from the picture that Rick sent us, but in this, Rock and Roll has a backpack. He's got a little shotgunny looking thing in his right hand. And in his left hand, he has his, the club's retooled the Vulcan machine gun, and it's got a belt leading to it. Yay, that's awesome. Except every time you see this Rock and Roll in the vintage line, in the comic, anywhere, he's totally John Woo in it because he came with 2 of those guns.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the whole point is that Rock and Roll, and these guns are ridiculous because each one has 2 tiny Gatling guns on it. So basically, it's somebody with a very small pistol compensating for a lack of firepower. But anyway, he's basically got 4 Gatling guns. He's holding them and he's mowing everybody down with it. Well, at first I thought, well, maybe the club just said, oh, that backpack, that we're going to give him this backpack. You can only fit 1 ammo belt in it. Okay, that backpack has 2 different ammo ports on it, 1 on either side. So the club could ditch the little diminutive shotgun in his right hand, and if they're going to retool the ginormous Vulcan gun, they could just give us 2 of them.
Yeah.
So part of the reason people are losing their mind is the colors, and the other part is this is half a Rock and Roll. This would be like giving you Storm Shadow and with only 1 of his swords, or that's a poor analogy. I'm trying to think of somebody that had 2 of the same weapon. It'd be like doing it'd be like if the club's version of Metalhead only came with 1 launcher instead of 2. Yeah. He only came with half his launchers.
Yeah.
It would be the equivalent of a salvo that couldn't stand up. Oh, wait. No, we already got that. So I just don't know. And I think also the reason his head looks big, I will defend this a little bit. Look at the concept case picture. I was down on 1 knee shooting into the case. So I was shooting up a little bit. The club's photo is from above. It's shooting down.
Yeah,
It makes his head look a little bigger. I don't remember his head looking huge when I saw him in the concept case.
I'll be honest. I really dig the one on the right the most. I think it's really awesome. Got that badass tattoo on his forearm right there.
Which the same one that they used with bench press back in 2009 at Toys R Us, if you remember.
Yep. But you don't get no tattoo on their version of what it looks like. So there is a huge, huge, huge shitstorm on this one, people. They're just...
I don't know why the club at this point, and if you look at it, the concept case version actually he has more paint apps on the legs because he's got a way more involved camo, but he has like no paint on that torso. Or if they did, the vest and the t-shirt are real close in color. The club, you could have saved some money just giving us that concept case version. I think a lot of people would have forget. I think you would have had like 5 people complaining, "It's not vintage accurate," and you would have had like the rest of your membership going, "Oh my God, I can't wait to get to my mailbox to get mine. Then I'm going to run up the street, beat up my neighbor, and take his out of his box too."
You'd be honest with you, their subscriptions probably would have gone up because you have until sometime in March to subscribe to have this figure for free.
Usually so like around the 15th or so.
Yeah, so I mean, I think their subscription service would have been higher. Maybe there's a saving grace. Maybe this wasn't the final one. Maybe it's just a mock-up and it's just no offense to Rick, maybe just a poor quality picture. Because Rick, well, for y'all who don't know Rick very well, Rick is a very good friend of mine, but sorry, Rick, you need to upgrade from that iPhone 4. Okay?
Wow.
Yeah, he's still rocking an iPhone 4. God love him. I mean, he's spending all his money on toys. He can't, I mean, you know.
Mike, go over to JBL real quick and look at the article that I posted. And there's I'm not just self-promoting. Yeah, go up, scroll up to the top of the page, hit home. And I'm going to I want Mike to bring up another picture here. As soon as it refreshes. Okay, click on that first article. Maybe.
Yeah, see this picture, this is the exact picture Rick sent me.
Yeah.
From his this was his book he got. Like I said, I'm not trying to knock Rick for
no. Now scroll down the page a little bit though. I want to show something. Keep going. Okay, sorry, go back up. Open up where it says continue reading. Yep. I want to go into the article. I have a little gallery of some rock and roll related images. Can now go all the way to the bottom.
Yeah, I saw this one here.
And keep going past him. Okay. See that little gallery at the bottom? Go to the one to the right of Rick's photo. Right. That one. Yep, click that. This is the cover of Marvel 79. Damn it, 97. Yeah, just double click on it.
Yeah.
Here's your color scheme. Which is funny because in the issue they screw up and they give him a green shirt for half of it, but that is essentially the colors. That's closer to what they're going for. And I love this cover, don't get me wrong, but I love it because you use more vibrant colors in a comic book. Right. But when you go to real world, you should probably subdue them a little more. And I think more people want rock. People love rock and roll. Rock and roll is that, to use the vernacular of a lot of the younger fans these days, the OG 13. He's the heavy machine gunner. He was the guy, but he was the heavy firepower before Roadblock.
Yeah, we should have got 2 Gatling guns now that I look at the picture more.
All in that issue, he is just. I wondered how he was lifting them because, the weight of those, this guy's arms, and then holding them steady, Jesus, it's like Terry Crews and the Expendables. But I don't know, for whatever reason, it's just I really hope they're giving us 2 guns. Rick, if you're listening, seriously, post on the Facebook page and let us know if it says it comes with 2 of those, because
I hate to tell you this, Rick doesn't do Facebook. Yeah, he'll listen, he'll watch the show. He don't do Facebook.
Because God, look at that photo. They don't call me rock and roll for nothing, and he is unleashing hell in that image.
Hopefully, today's Saturday, and I didn't get mine in the mail today, so I'll probably get mine until Monday. So that was rock and roll. I'm going to go to Hiss for a minute. We're going to we're going to see what some of the people are saying, and not to knock on Rick for his iPhone 4, but to be honest with you guys, if I could still rock an old phone, you know what it'd be? It would totally be.
You'd have the Zach Morris brick phone, wouldn't you?
No, I would have.
You'd be waking up in the morning. I can't remember the lyrics of.
Dude, I would be rocking the Razor phone.
Oh, I remember the Razor.
Razor, I love that phone. Here's something I want to go to real quick before I do the. HasCon has announced HasCon 2019.
Yep.
You know what? We're gonna skip a year. We're not gonna do 2018.
Well, think about it, Mike. They give the club next year all to themselves, the final year.
Yeah. I mean, still though. If they did their own show, it's kind of like, let's do everything but G.I. Joe. But I guess you clearly can't do that. I guess I don't know. I just think, of course, a lot of not hate, but a lot of people talking about that one, how they were like, what the hell? And here's the same picture. This is the picture I sent in on the Hiss tank, showing where I got credit for it. And I was surprised this here, the way I look at things, it's on page 4, but it was close to 3,000 views already, and it's only been up for just a little over 24 hours. A lot of people, I'm surprised that I'm not surprised. A lot of people just weren't really liking it, So if you're a Hiss Tank member, there is the discussion on that. Y'all can go talk to about that. This is a terrible idea. What happened to the concept case one from a few years ago? Well, my dear friend, they decided not to use that. There's only there was one guy, he said something how he liked it. He was like, something along the lines of, am I the only one that liked it? I'm like, yeah, you're pretty much the only one that likes it. But if it is a mock-up, then it's strictly a mock-up that, we're not seeing yet, or we haven't gotten it in hand. So I guess I'm getting to the point of on that. And so once you get it in hand, it's a better idea on that one. I think that was all I had on screen share this time.
Maybe.
There's the endless windows.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm honest. I'm kind of surprised by the negative reaction toward the visceral negative reaction to rock and roll, because
Yep.
I can be pretty vocal in my opinions, but even still, it's like we talked to Justin last time, and it was the whole when you're reviewing something, you can still always find like something good to say,
Right.
You can't just be like oh my God, this figure's terrible. It caused my wife to leave me. I lost my job. It's no, but man, like people are like grabbing pitchforks and there's somebody with a bucket of rotten fruit, and it's kind of like in those Frankenstein movies, where because every Bavarian mob in those Universal monster movies, they always have rotten fruit, pitchforks, and torches. So I feel like rock and roll is like running away, and they're all throwing stuff at him, and man, like people are pissed.
Oh, they are very mad. One thing we didn't do, I forgot to say, on the figure subscription service, who do you think number 13 is going to be?
So, okay. I'm always wrong. I've been wrong most of the time. They're doing the Cobra Commander in the Arctic coat, right?
Mm-hmm.
That Cobra Commander was supposed to come out in a 2-pack with a cold weather version of Scarlet.
They've already said it's going to be a male, though.
What? Ah, crap. I don't know.
I'm going to go with Hardball.
Oh, crap. Yes. Hell, I even wrote an article about it.
The weapon from JoeCon, we talked about that, remember?
Yeah, from Cobra Corrosion.
Yeah, so that's where we think we're going to get that.
See, you know what, though, Mike? Hold on. I'm going to dial that back. I'm going to say no, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I think Hardball is going to be an FSS 8. And the reason why, Hardball is the kind of figure you throw out to get people to subscribe.
True.
That's the only reason I say that, is that Hardball is too good of a choice. It's kind of like you look at the 13th figures that we've had, and it's kind of like when they did Red Pad's Grand Slam. Okay, Red Pad's Grand Slam was not ever going to get anybody to subscribe.
Oh, God,
but he was an easy 13th. Hardball to me, if I were the club, I would hold him for the final FSS. I would use him because he's someone that people have been asking for. They've done the weapon now. He's not a terribly complicated build. And I think people would sign up for him.
Mm. See, and I can see us getting an 8 because
they talked about 8 at JoeCon.
Right. Well, with the Transformers Collectors Club, they did the final subscription service, and they shipped them out earlier this year, which was their final year to have the website up, and the Collectors Club was already closed down. So we can still we'll still get it. I think. Well, I think we will see an 8.
We'll be subbing to 8 at this time next year. At this time next year.
You think so? I'll think maybe early fall.
Well, but I think that's because, like you said, 2019 is the club's last year of having the website and doing everything.
Right.
So I think they're going to do FSS 8 next year around this time, maybe October or so. Get everybody to sign up, and then boom, they can't do anything new. There's no renewal figure in 2019, but as long as people pay for these figures and they get their order in 18, then they can ship them out in 19, and then there'll be the big warehouse sale and
which I was fixing to say. Even though it's Transformers right now, it is at 60% discounted, which there's not very many on the Toyz left. There's a couple of years of box sets, which they I think had way too many, to be honest with you. The one thing I will tell you, Joe collectors, if you're interested, and they're full price on the GI Joe Club website right now. But if you go to the Transformer Collectors Club, where you do not have to have a membership to purchase anything currently, or you don't have to, anybody can go on there and do it. They currently have the 2016 GI Joe Club Transformer Club crossover Only Human Rodimus and RC figure currently at $22.
That's not bad.
And then if you're still wanting to get the 2016 Joe Former crossover 5-pack Scarlet Ninja Force, Dr. Bigelow Jones and Cobra Commander, Megatron, Rat Bat, and Toaster, and all that little junk, that's down to $71.60.
So wait a minute. It's more expensive on the Joe Club side than the Transformers Club side.
Let me go look just to be on the safe side before I say something.
Do they still have Marissa Fairborn sitting over there?
Not on the Transformers.
Okay.
Let's see what
I got her for I got her the one year when the club had them. They had their Black Friday Christmas sale, and for like a couple of days they had her crazy cheap, and then they realized it was too cheap and they jacked the price up.
Mm-hmm,
but I want to say I got her for I think $17.50, which is fine because that bicycle I could give two craps about.
Okay, currently over on the GI Joe Collectors Club. You have to be a member in order to purchase on this site. Rodimus and RC, $29. And the Joe Former crossover set, $129. But here's...
What?
I'm not trying to knock them. I'm really not trying to knock them.
God.
I just said $129 on the Joe Former set, the 5-pack. On the Transformer site, when they started this sale, you know what they started the price at on it before the discounts?
Oh, I can only imagine.
$179. $50 markup.
But yeah! Holy reach around to Batman. They better buy you dinner after that one.
And then on the RC and Rodimus, they jacked them up to $55.
See, God. Ugh. Look, so no one can accuse Savage of running an unprofitable business, but
so if you want to, well, yeah, I think he's probably, some of these he might take an 80-90% discount on them. So yeah, I can kind of see it. I don't blame the guy. I don't get it.
It's kind of like, but here's the thing: don't mark them up to more than what you initially sold them at, and then start your discount. That's shady.
Yeah,
it's kind of like when we've all gone to stores when they're closing, and they're 50% off, but then you walk in and it's like, well, it's really not that cheap. That's because when a store goes into liquidation, everything no longer goes to the average daily price. It goes up to full SRP. It goes to full suggested retail, and then the discounts come down from there. They count on the psychology of, it's a fire sale, 50% off. I'm going to go buy this.
Exactly.
What bugs me about this is that suddenly it becomes more expensive than it ever was in the first place. Yeah, that's kind of crappy.
Yeah, but the set now, you got to think that 5-pack you're at $130, which now you're down to $71. So I mean, you're saving about $60 right now on it by going to the Transformers Collector Club to get it. Currently from the GI Joe Collector Club, 10% comes off every Friday. So next Friday, I mean, there's some stuff I'm trying to wait on. There's some golden ticket pins to complete my golden ticket pin collection.
Yeah.
There's 3 of them. I had one I lost. Well, the only one I actually had from BotCon I lost. All the years I've gone for golden ticket. Every time I've gone to JoeCon since 2014, I've always gone golden ticket. So I have all the pins for those years I've gone.
See, this makes me not happy about what we're going to see with the club's fire sale when for Joe's side, because there are certain things I would love to buy. I'm going to be honest. I would love to get that Sky Patrol Sky Striker. However, I have so damn many Sky Strikers already that I'm not going to I don't want to pay their price for it. Oh, and people are going to, Joe fans are cheap. They just like to wait for Ross. No, Joe fans are not made of. Our last name isn't Trump. You know, and we're not like the Clintons where we get other people to fund it for us. Wow, I went political and I don't care. You know, it's just like it's another damn Sky Striker. It's just a different color, and I just think that they're gonna start that damn jet off at $200.
Well, I got 3 of them, and that's more than I need. I got the Jetfire from San Diego, the Sky Patrol, and then the one from Toys R Us.
Yeah.
And I have them on top of my case. I have nowhere. I can't put them inside the case because they're too damn big.
Because it started off and you had Starscream. Well, no,
Yep.
you had the toys. You had the whatever hell line it was at that point, Pursuit of Cobra, whatever the 30th whatever Sky Striker. Then we got Starscream. Then we got Night Boomer as a Joe Con piece.
Right.
Then we got Jetfire.
Fire.
Then we got
Sky Patrol.
Sky Patrol.
No. We got the Toys R Us. The 50th set one, remember?
Yeah, that's the first one. That's the same one. Oh, no. Shit. Then we got the 50th. Then we got the variant 50th.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude.
There's 7 damn Sky Strikers.
What? You have to have a goddamn flag for all them damn Sky Strikers.
And I'm still bitter. I love Neil Hoffman. He was brand manager at the time. I love Neil. Really do. Neil, if you're out there, you're a good dude, man. But Neil was all about vintage accuracy. And that meant when you pulled the lever on the Sky Striker, the landing gear came down and the wings opened. You couldn't have just made it so that the wings stayed folded, but the landing gear came down. So that when you could store these, you could store them like this and not like this, where they take up way more space.
Yeah.
Or you could have them flying like they do with their wings open. I always bugged the hell out of me about the Sky Striker. I've never been a fan of that stupid landing gear thing.
You know the jet that and I'm not saying because it was in last year's set, but that Concorde is by far, I think, the best.
That Conquest?
Conquest, I'm sorry. I think I like that. Personally, that's my favorite jet.
I got a shit ton of those too floating around.
Now the one after that would have to be the Rattler one.
The problem with the Rattler is it's like it's a real snug fit to get a figure in there.
Yes,
because it's the original mold. They did not really change it up. And good luck getting anybody of any size in that turret. You got to cover it with Crisco to kind of pop them in, or you have to take the turret off, put the figure in, put the turret back to. And I always wondered, it's like, okay, so you have, even when I was a kid, you have this Rattler turret. And you put the Baroness in there. Okay, she's behind Wild Weasel. She's facing forward. But the turret can rotate 360. How the hell can she gun if she can't turn? But the turret, is she like using the force when she's shooting behind her? It's like, oh, sorry, Dave. I'm just nitpicking there, but
I got that one, but I have the Power Glide that came with Soundwave. So I got
it makes me laugh inappropriately. I love him. But Power Glide. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to G.I. Joe After Dark. Tonight, it's Power Glide. It sounds like something like the Baroness keeps on her nightstand.
Right. Yeah. That'd be my... did you get anything new this week? Because or since the last time, cause I got a... it's Battle Force 2000, the vintage jet, Victor jet.
Yeah, nothing. The only thing that I've picked up at all recently,
a sweater.
Oh yeah, I got it at Walmart. Finally found these. My store doesn't carry them, but no. The only thing that I've managed to pick up recently, and it's been dry as hell as a toy collector who does 4-inch. I bought the knockoff Masterpiece Ratchet on eBay, but he's not going to be here for like a couple of weeks because.
Come from Japan.
I'm cheap. I buy them. I'm not enough of a Transformers fan that I have to get like the full Takara ones. I transform them into a robot. They stay as a robot. Life is good, and I've got a few KOs.
And
but
I think this is the reason why I don't. I mean, and people know that I am a true, I'm a diehard Transformer fan, and I got out of the Masterpiece line because of all the KOs. I think you kill the brand or you kill that line by doing KOs, in my opinion. I just don't like them personally.
Yeah.
When the KOs start coming out left and right, it's kind of like, well, if I'm buying off Facebook and I'm doing this, and how the hell do I know that's legit because you said it's legit?
Yeah.
I just can't. I don't know you from Adam. So I just,
you know
I got
what?
out of all those completely.
You know what we haven't talked about tonight, and I don't have an image of it, but did you see where there is one of the companies that does knockoff Transformers is doing a knockoff G.I. Joe figure?
I think I heard about that somewhere. Which figure
They're doing the Laser Viper, and they're doing him also in a Python Patrol deco that's identical to the old Toys R Us 6-pack.
See, are they going O-ring or they're going O-ring or modern?
Modern. And okay. This says to me that a real American hero from Hasbro is all but done when this figure is allowed to be out there and they're not going after it. I mean, granted, look, there are 10,000 people, it seems like, doing third-party Transformers these days. And you can't keep track of them all. But now there's a third-party Joe. And I'm not talking about like a custom that's being done for things like today at Assembly Required in Iowa.
Yes.
Which I didn't go to because we had stuff. But even though it's like an hour, it's like not even 2 hours from here. But
oh really, man? I can't believe you didn't go.
We had stuff to do today, but no, it's like the first third party G.I. Joe. And I thought, man, is this going to become a thing? Is this all that's going to be left for collectors now when the club goes away?
When you were talking about Iowa, were you talking about Roman Collectibles doing those 8 tanks of the
Oh yeah, I saw the pictures. Aaron does killer work.
I saw those pictures. I'm like, damn it. This is what sucks is I hear about all these fan-run G.I. Joe shows, and they're nowhere within reasonable driving distance for me. The only one that's really reasonable, there's going to be one down in Texas, November 18th with John.
Okay.
He's going to be at, and I want to go to it, but that's the same day as a convention here in Arkansas that it's funny, it's a cosplay con convention.
Yeah.
But they're doing an awards show for different things. And my convention, Little Rock Comic Con, was nominated in the top 3.
Oh, wow.
So I kind of have to be there. Actually, my con was actually nominated as the only Central Little Rock convention. So, and there's 19 shows in Arkansas, and mine was nominated and voted to the top 3. So I kind of have to be there for that.
19 shows in How the hell are there 19 in Arkansas and there's like Jack in Central Illinois?
Dude, let me tell you what. We talked about, like today, there was a convention in Conway, Arkansas. And we were talking about that, and when I started 10 years ago, because next year will be my 10th anniversary.
Yeah.
And I was the only guy in Arkansas doing them. Now here we are 10 years later, and everybody and their damn brother is doing these things.
Because nerd culture has become mainstreamed.
And I tell you what, I guess, now I will admit, I've had some people tell me, man, you need to get out of it. You're not bringing in what we want. Well, I'm sorry. I don't have deep pockets, and I don't ask people for money.
Yeah.
Period. That's just how it is. We are a mom-and-pop organization, and I'll run it like a mom-and-pop organization.
Hell yeah.
Now for people who are near the Arkansas area who are watching or will watch, we did announce that we will have Michael Dobson as our guest. If you went to JoeCon 2014, he was there. He has an extensive, long history of stuff he's done, including Cobra Commander and Sergeant Stalker. Was it Sergeant Stalker? I looked at IMDb, and I think that's what it was.
Oh, he was in. He did the voice in Resolute.
Yes.
Yeah, and it had a tiny, tiny voice cast.
Yeah, but I mean, he also, like I said, he's the only other person besides Chris Latta to do Cobra Commander and Starscream. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Real cool guy. I met him in 2014, he's looking forward to it. That's the only guest we've got lined out for right now. I've looked at some other Joe guests, and I'm working on a certain cosplay person to possibly come. I won't say names, but you don't have to go very far to think about who I'm talking about. But and we're also looking to have the finest from the Kansas City chapter.
Nice.
Coming down to set up their big diorama at our show. So we're waiting to hear back on how many people they were going to be able to get for that before we announce them. But
nicely done.
Yeah, it's going to Little Joe, and John's supposed to be coming down or coming up for the show as well, setting up. So I'm thinking to myself, all these other people doing Joe shows, I'm about ready to do my own damn Joe show at this rate.
It's not like you're going to have competition with an official one. I mean, because Hasbro is not doing individual brand shows anymore. They are doing HasCon, which is, it's the Hasbro stew. It is all the brands in one place. And their focus, and to their defense, I mean, Hasbro really tried to make their show family friendly. And that's kind of who you have to, we've been, our line, G.I. Joe has not really been a kid's line since maybe Retaliation, but I'm going to go back. I'm going to say Rise of Cobra was, and Renegades were probably the last attempts to market it to kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it's been collector only.
Yeah, it has been.
It really is. You look at the packaging, you look at everything. It's just purely collector only. And I mean, that's fine. If you don't want your brand to grow, there you go. Because if you don't bring in new blood, you're not going to go anywhere. But if you just want to keep bringing in the same people over and over, and you want them to spend for a couple of years, you go for collectors, because collectors have deep pockets, in theory.
Yeah, and
I'm sorry.
You got to talk about me.
Collectors have credit cards.
Yeah.
And no impulse control.
Oh God, you got that right. Let's see. What is the 4th? Yeah, 4th. So 2 weeks from today is November the 18th. That's the show I was talking about. I mean, so what I'm thinking I want to do is I want to drive down to Texas because it's a 4.5-hour drive. I think I'll go down there in time for that show to start and stay till 1, then turn around, drive back, because the award show is at, I think it starts at 6:30.
Oh yeah,
and it's in North Little Rock, Arkansas, which is probably an extra half-hour drive. So I want to make it in time for that, or I don't know. I haven't decided. I want to go down there. I talked to John about coming down there and hanging out. So, and in Arkansas just doesn't have. Sorry, we ain't got shit. We got that thread on his tank, and nobody replies to it except for me.
Ha!
I'm talking to myself, is what it is.
One is the loneliest number that you'll ever hear.
Me. That's it.
Don't ever ask me to sing again.
Yeah.
I was just looking to see if I could find pics of that third party, and of course, now that I stopped paying attention to it, I can't find it. So
if you do, send it to me, and or post it on the page. So our next show is going to be in 2 weeks on the 18th, and then we'll have one on December the 2nd, which will be our final one for this year, and it'll be celebrating our 1-year anniversary on the show. We're looking to have a special guest. I've been trying to work with one, but they didn't shoot me down. They kind of told me I have to go. You need to talk to our PR department at Hasbro. So I got to find out who the PR department is at Hasbro and send an email. I do have one guy who's willing to do it. So we might have Brad Sanders on the 1-year show in December.
Nice.
I might put a feeler out there for a couple other ones where we might do special guest episode. Then maybe we'll do a hangout edition after that. Invite a bunch of people we've had on the show before in the past. Special hosts. And stuff of that nature.
Yeah, definitely.
Just a 1-year. Like I said, it's a 1-year thing. Have a good time, hang out, shoot shit. Hopefully, the next episode we'll have maybe another 5 to 6 more reveals. We'll talk about and laugh at, or who knows what the hell we'll do in 2 weeks, man. There's no telling what will happen. We'll find something interesting to do. But we're going to call it there for a night, man. And appreciate everyone tuning in. We've been doing a thing for kind of like a. I don't want to say. I want to say it, but it's not what I want to say. But it's like a collection spotlight. If you want to send in pictures of your collection, or your customs or stuff like that, and we can show it off and critique it by our critiqueness, be more than happy to send that to us. You can send it to us through the Facebook page, and we can go through there and post it there as well.
And if you have a project that you're working on, if you get a Kickstarter,
exactly,
a book you're trying to publish, a full-size replica of the pit that you're trying to build in your backyard, or if you've built a working weather dominator and want to get your message out to the world, let us know. We'll give you the mic.
It'll be me, you, and the 12 people watching that will hear it.
Hey, my mom will shake in terror at the power of the weather dominator.
All right. Well, that's it for us. Keep an eye on the Facebook page, Joe Battlelines, and we appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll be back in 2 weeks, and catch me next week on Cybercast and Galactic Gumbo on the G1 Hextron channel, where we'll be critiquing Transformers as usual. So appreciate y'all guys watching, and see you on the flip side.
Thanks for tuning in, kids.